8 Things You Didn't Know About She-Hulk. She-Hulk has been ranked as one of the top 20 most powerful Avengers, ranking higher than Captain America and Luke Cage, yet there are still a lot of things that are unknown about the character. She shares many of the same abilities as her cousin Bruce Banner when he is in his Hulk form, but her control over her ability makes her, arguably, a more valuable asset than the Hulk. Number 1. She-Hulk was created to retain a trademark. In the late 1970s, the Incredible Hulk TV movie and subsequent TV series garnered a lot of popularity from both fans of Incredible Hulk comics and non-readers alike. Predictably, this led to a lot of rumors that the studios involved were thinking of creating a female version of the Green Monster, in order to appeal to multiple demographics through both shows. Marvel got wind of this rumor and decided that they had to get there first in order to protect their interests. Thus, She-Hulk was born. Stan Lee and John Buscema created the Jade Giantess in late 1979, early 1980, releasing the Savage She-Hulk #1, and filing the trademark before CBS could, beating them to the punch. It's also widely claimed that this creation was Stan Lee's final significant creation for Marvel. However, this just depends on how significant you consider his 1992 C-Zero creation, Ravage 2099, to be. Number 2. She's a Bruin. She-Hulk's past isn't fantastic, it's not amazing, and it's not even incredible, it's academic. Jennifer Walters is an alum of the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. She studied in the same halls as the likes of Rob Reiner, Mayim Bialik, and George Takei. Part of the appeal of Marvel Comics, for many fans, is that the universe is rooted in some sort of pseudo-reality that can be likened to our own. Many of the flagship characters were based in real-life places within New York City, likely due to the creators working from within the bullpen in the Marvel offices. This certainly isn't the first time UCLA has been used to contribute to pop culture. Its campus has famously been used in the past by Hollywood and television studios. It's refreshing to have a Marvel character's backstory not be rooted in the Big Apple like so many others, but we're still thankful she eventually made New York City her home. Number 3. She has a law degree. Like her cousin, She-Hulk has two sides to her, the career Avenger and the former UCLA student, Jennifer Walters. Unlike the Hulk, though, she has full control while in She-Hulk form and has access to all the brainpower she gained while earning her law degree. Thanks to this little extra upside to her abilities, it's not uncommon to see Jennifer Walters show up to court hulked out and in business dress. The confidence gained while in her green form obviously helps her while performing her duties as legal counsel, and it's definitely a show of force to the opposing counsel. This side of Jen is a huge part of She-Hulk comics. Like with Daredevil, readers won't just be treated to some ass-kicking and the dishing out of street justice, they'll also see court appearances that rival any courtroom drama on the small screen. Both titles have also benefited from the skills of writer, New York City attorney Charles Soule. Number 4. Her law firm is named after comic legends. The Marvel Universe's other fictional law firm, Goodman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway, has taken on many cases within the pages of She-Hulk, from Spider-Man vs. the Daily Bugle, to Howard the Duck vs. Lucas, in which Howard wanted to sue George Lucas over movie rights. The firm is located in Timely Plaza, New York City, a clear nod to the publisher's pre-Marvel Comics name. It gains its name from Martin Goodman, Marvel's first publisher, Stan Lee, whose original surname was Lieber, and Jack Kirby, who was born Jacob Kurtzberg, with Holden Holloway appearing as the fourth member in 2004's She-Hulk #1 when he hired She-Hulk. The caveat being that she operates as Jennifer Walters in order to avoid swaying juries with the large, green reminder of her past heroics. Number 5. Awesome Andy. Although not strictly being a piece of She-Hulk trivia, Awesome Andy is certainly worth a mention. During Dan Slott's run on the comic, readers were reintroduced to the character as he transitioned from mindless slave of the Mad Thinker to heroic admin clerk in the firm where Jen works. In a run-in with Thor, Awesome Android copied the god's nobility, which sparked independent thought within his mind and allowed him to choose not to follow the Mad Thinker's orders. With his newfound sentience, Andy set about building a legal case in his defense, and he sought out the services of GLK and H, later working for them in lieu of payment. Awesome Andy also helped Jen after Southpaw, granddaughter of the H in GLK and H, was placed in her custody. She-Hulk essentially used Andy as a free babysitter for the young criminal, but Andy didn't seem to mind. Number 6. The fifth member of the Fantastic Four. After the events of Secret Wars, 1984, Ben Grimm stayed on Battleworld for a few months longer than the rest of the heroes, leaving the Fantastic Four with a vacancy. It was proposed that She-Hulk take his place, no doubt owing to the fact that, like the Thing, she was one of the heaviest hitters around. She was introduced as a full-fledged member of Marvel's first family in 1984 with Fantastic Four number 265, with her first day shown in number 266 when she is at the hospital with Sue Storm after the latter collapsed due to pregnancy complications. However, these weren't her first appearances in an FF comic. It was in the pages of Fantastic Four number 254 where John Byrne wrote and drew She-Hulk as a character for the first time, later going on to produce some of the most iconic stories in She-Hulk's history. Number 7. Leader of the A-Force. Marvel fans were treated to another Secret Wars in 2015. During the not-so-great crossover, the main Marvel universe merged with many other alternate realities, creating a patchwork universe where there can exist more than one version of certain characters. Spinning out of Secret Wars, 2015, and as part of the crossover event, G. Willow Wilson, Marguerite Bennett, and Jorge Molina created a Force, an all-female team of Avengers who were led by She-Hulk. When the universes merged into one after Secret Wars, Singularity awoke on Earth-616, the main universe, and made attempts to unite the 616 versions of her team. She was successful in bringing a handful together to fight Antimatter, Captain Marvel, Medusa, Dazzler, Nico Minoru, and She-Hulk, who would become leader of the team. Unfortunately, despite the book's favorable critical reception, A Force was short-lived, with a meager 15 issues in total across 2 volumes. Number 8. Fourth Wall. As we have mentioned before, She-Hulk was breaking the fourth wall long before Deadpool. Jen's comic awareness was mostly seen during John Byrne's run on Sensational She-Hulk. Readers have seen her interact with the writer and the editorial team on numerous occasions, but her fourth wall breaks aren't exclusive to her own comics. In 1998's Heroes for Hire number 14, for example, She-Hulk is seen firing the narrator for being pretty useless. The narrator protests and tries to convince her that it's Stan Lee, Stan Lee's girlfriend, and Monica Lewinsky. It was the late 90s. All of which takes place in front of Luke Cage and Scott Lang, Ant-Man. They're only hearing She-Hulk's side of things, however, as she talks to, from their perspective, nobody.